Rocket League is a game I've been playing since mid-2016. It is a game I've spent a lot of time playing, perfecting, and just enjoying time with friends. So this got me thinking. I'm coming up on 5,000 hours now, and I started to reflect on what I've learned over this time and what I think players new and old need to understand earlier rather than later. So let's get into the 20 things I learned in 5,000 hours of playing Rocket League. Just a reminder, I do stream over Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and I do viewer games on Sundays, so be sure to come say hi, ask any more questions there. The link will be in the description, and without further ado, let's get started. Our first point in today's video, and I can't stress this enough, ranked isn't everything. Please understand that rank doesn't define your level as a player, and I've seen champ players who can dominate their way in grand champ lobbies, and diamond players who struggle to get wins in platinum lobbies. Ranked is simply a way to play the game at a competitive level and improve on your own skill. And take that from someone who has let losses in ranked heavily affect their Rocket League mentality. It's not worth it, as team play and tournaments are completely different at the end of the day to just playing ranked or just playing casual. Change your Rocket League settings straight away to something that feels a bit more comfortable. Rocket League gives you default camera, video, and interface settings that I would encourage changing to something that feels a bit more natural, and pro players are a great way to start, and then you can adjust from there to what fits. Now, choosing a camera setting. Camera settings play a huge role in being able to see the field as well as being able to read angles with your car. And also making sure your camera isn't shaking every time you hit the ball. That's called camera shake, and please turn that off. The rest of the settings are up to you. Here's what I use, but just a reminder, distance and field of view work together, meaning if you want to increase one, you might want to decrease the other, and same goes for angle and height. Stiffness just means how far your car moves while being supersonic. Also, a quick note, just because you can see more of the field does not mean it is better. I see a lot of people making this mistake, and it really just looks unnatural. Controls or keybinds. Now this is completely up to you, I just thought I'd show you mine, as having boost on a bumper feels very comfortable for me and allows me to fast area with ease. I would recommend having an air roll left or right bound on a button so you can half flip and do other mechanics pretty easily. Video settings. Yet again, this is up to you, and especially it's up to what your PC can handle. Having the game in full screen means less latency, the higher the frames the better. Yet again, it's up to your PC though. Having all these boxes unticked makes your game look cleaner and run smoother. Always make sure to have transparent goalposts ticked though. Really quickly going through them again, interface settings. Interface settings have a lot to do with your HUD around your screen. Here's the default, and then here's what I'll show you what I use for a minimalistic view with less indicators and notifications while playing, like centers and clears. Now let's talk about the tutorials. I highly encourage completing these first before loading into the game, as you get taught a basics of car control in the basic tutorial. Straight after, hop into the advanced tutorial and it will teach you more awkward flips, and on top of that you get to understand the basic of aerials and how to be effective in the air. Alright, now that we have the basics out of the way, let's start to focus on the actual gameplay. Now the first thing I want to say is casual is not the best for warming up. Everyone seems to go to the casual playlist when deciding to warm up before ranked or competitive play, when this isn't the best use of time. In free play and custom training, you can get more time on the ball and play at your own freedom, rather than playing in a casual match which might put you into a slower playstyle because of your opponents. Now number 9, free play is your best friend. Free play is a very good use of time, and pros will spend hours upon hours here practicing everything. What you want to do here is practice keeping the ball close at all times whilst maintaining near supersonic speed. And remember, if you are missing the ball a lot, that means you're going for things too quickly, which indicates you are trying to practice speed and different reads, which is a really good thing. Now, talking about custom training for number 10, custom training is good for specific mechanics. Free play is for everything. Like we talked about in free play, is a great way to chase after the ball and try different mechanics on the fly. But if you want to refine the time to work on one specific mechanic, then custom training is the place to go. For example, if you wanted to practice double touches from mid-air, the Devo training pack is perfect for practicing those reads, as well as you can determine the difficulty by adding in the extra mechanics like a flip reset. Now number 11, free play with 100 boost. If you're struggling with boost management, try disabling a limited boost in the settings to practice pad lines and conserving boost. Practice hitting the ball or dribbling around the field and using pad lines on the way to recover and score. Now going along with the previous point, number 12 is going to be boost wasting. This may seem very minimal, but using boost when it serves no purpose really penalizes you down the track. I guarantee if you look at one of your recent replays, you do this countless times. And yes, I understand, what can 5 to 15 boosts do to really make a difference? Well, the answer is a lot, because if you're tapping boost 1 or 2 times before an aerial, that's about 30 boosts you're missing from your tank. And a great thing to keep in mind is boosting while turning is very ineffective. Now number 13 is Slowmo. First off, here are the Slowmo mutators and how to get into it. But Slowmo is a great way for practicing timing and car control needed for a certain mechanic, so that when you do go back to normal speed, you can understand what you need to do to finally hit that shot. A huge benefit of Slowmo is that it can be known to help with placebo if you are feeling slow in your normal play. So just jump into Slowmo for 5 to 10 minutes and you'll find yourself feeling a lot faster on the pitch. Number 14, the bounce shot. Hitting the ball right after it bounces is one of the greatest ways to generate power on your shots. One of the most simplistic shots, but it takes time to get the timing right, as well as the accuracy on net. So make sure to get this shot perfected before your next session by jumping into free play and giving it a go. Number 15, practice car control without the ball. To understand how your car moves, it is best to practice without the ball. Other than workshop maps, there are plenty of ways to practice this, whether it's maintaining air roll while spinning around the ball in free play, or what I like to do is jump off the side of the wall and boost to one of the top corners of the goal to practice how your car moves. If you do have workshop maps though, because you are on PC, make sure to take advantage of the rings maps that you'll find in the workshops. Number 16, precise wall hits. And no, I'm not talking about air dribbles and other flip resets and fancy mechanics. I'm talking about powerful hits off the wall. Learning to control your car in order to get huge powerful shots onto net from wall positions is a huge thing in the game that will really benefit you, as going for all these other fancy mechanics might put you out of position. I have made this training pack that I'll put on screen now if you would like to give it a go. Other than that, there's plenty of other training packs that you can use. Now, number 17, the easiest way to learn tough reads in this game is to go for them. These hard backboard reads are some of my favorite kinds of shots, and the best way to learn them is to force yourself to go up for the read. And yes, you will miss your first couple, but forcing you to try and make the read is the quickest way to learn. This can be any type of read, from the backboard, sidewalls to corners. Have the confidence to go up because you're only going to learn by trying. Now, number 18, practicing a harder variant of a mechanic makes the easier version, well, easier. For example, if you're trying to learn flip resets and not able to get back into the ball, try learning double flip resets instead, and you'll soon find regular flip resets become so much easier. Now, this may sound ridiculous because I was having a lot of trouble getting back to my flip resets to score them. It wasn't until I started learning double flip resets that I was able to get the car control needed to score my normal ones. Now, number 19, and this is a huge one that I tell people in my stream every single day, and I really feel like it goes overlooked a lot of the time, and that is to actively think while playing. Now, this one bit of advice helped me climb 200 MMR in a week, and all it is thinking about what you're doing while playing. But it's not as easy as you think. I best describe this concept by saying, imagine you're tying your shoelaces. You don't really have to think about what you're doing because it's second nature, right? Well, it's the same as Rocket League. Are you just playing the game as its second nature? Or are you constantly thinking about positioning, your teammate's position, what you can do with each possession of the ball without throwing it away? This is a hard concept to grasp, but once you get it, you will find yourself improving at a much faster rate. This can also be the same when practicing a certain mechanic, whether it's air dribbles or flip resets. Actively think about what you need to do in order to improve instead of just doing it second nature. And at last but not least, I want to go over what each playlist means when you're trying to play, so you can really focus on the benefits that each game mode has to offer and what you should be focused on practicing while playing. Now, to start off with threes, I feel like this game mode is more built around team play, rotations, and ultimately it's what you're going to be playing when you're playing tournaments as RLCS and even the in-game tournament. Now, twos is for learning to support your teammate as well as practice mechanics, speed, and challenging. This is good for aerial and ground play. Now, ones is for being held accountable and really practicing your consistency with everything. Also, challenging, especially knowing when to go and how to force those 50-50s. Ones will also make the foundations for your ones and twos gameplay. So each playlist really helps build your overall gameplay and skills, and all should be taken into account when you're trying to grind. So those are my 20 tips I learned in 5k hours of this game. I hope you can take something out of it and improve your own gameplay further. Rocket League is such an amazing and unique game that I don't regret any of my hours at all. I do have a bunch more tips if you are keen for a part 2, so make sure to let me know. Other than that, I'll see you all in the next video.